In the quiet of the night, the kind Indonesian man kept saying to me, "Sleep now. Tomorrow, early morning, we help you to get out of here. Please don't worry." The house we were taken to was falling apart. Its walls were weak, the roof barely held, and they seemed too poor. I was terrified a lot as there were so many lizards around. His wife gently patted my back, trying to comfort me. I didn't understand her words, but I understood the warmth. She was trying to tell me, "Do not worry, that the lizards wouldn't hurt me." And this is a true photo of this generous man and his wife. That night I barely slept. Before sunrise, while the sky was still dark, the man managed to borrow someone's car. He brought us traditional Indonesian clothing and hats, so we had to wear them and be ready to hit the road. That same night, I added his daughter on Facebook. Her name is Siti. Every time she calls me, she says, "My family say hi to you." Sadly, the kind man who helped us passed away a few years ago. May he rest in peace. We still keep in touch to this day. Their kindness remains unforgettable. He drove us a long distance to a small taxi station. There he introduced us to a driver. We agreed to pay 600,000 Indonesian rupiah to be taken to Jakarta, but we gave him more, a few $100 to the man who helped us, as a thank you. The man was surprised and tried to refuse. He didn't recognize the US currency. We explained, "This is our appreciation. Each $100 is worth over 15 million in your money." He cried. He had helped us selflessly without asking for anything in return. The driver took us to Jakarta through hidden roads, always avoiding the police. When we finally arrived, we took a deep breath. We were safe, for now. This was in early 2012. I was with a few mates, friends I had met during difficult times in Jakarta. Most of them were under 18. They kept saying to me, "Come with us, let's go on the boat to Australia." I kept replying, "I don't have the money yet, I'm waiting, and we'll see." I contacted a smuggler back in Pakistan who had connections in Indonesia. I asked if he could get me on board too for cheap amount. He said my money wasn't enough, maybe next time. Basically, he was demanding $7,000 USD per person, which is a ridiculous amount. Each boat could easily make around $1 million in profit for the smuggler. A few days later, some of my closest friends said goodbye and left me. For about a week, they kept messaging me from somewhere in Indonesia, asking why I wasn't with them. I wished I was. They asked me to pray for them. Then, one night, they sent their final message, "Goodbye." That same night, while I was just sitting alone on my laptop, a news headline appeared. "Asylum seeker boat drowned." My heart dropped. I went silent. I cried. I kept shaking. I messaged them over and over again, through text, through their social media. But there was no reply. All of them were gone. I heard that over 300 asylum seekers had either died or gone missing, with only a few survivors rescued. The boat they were on had sunk. Not even their bodies were ever found. It was the same boat I was meant to be on. Days, weeks, months passed, slowly, painfully. I carried the weight of their memories, and life felt like a never-ending storm, serious, unrelenting, drowning me in sorrow and punishing me over and over again. At the end of March 2012, I tried again, this time with another friend. We bought tickets from Jakarta to Makassar. The ferry was overcrowded beyond belief. After 24 long hours, we arrived in Makassar, Indonesia. The smuggler picked us up and locked us in a house for several days. Then one night we were taken to a large fishing boat. Dozens of people were already there, preparing for the uncertain journey. I didn't know how to swim. As I stepped closer to the boat, the ground disappeared beneath my feet. I panicked, my shoes in one hand, a few $100 in the other. I dropped the money into the sea. I dove after it, desperate. Somehow I managed to get it back and swam toward the boat. Someone pulled me up just in time. There were 86 people on board. It was 3 in the morning. The ocean was rough and I was terrified that first day. I kept asking myself, am I really doing this? Will I make it? Or have I completely lost my mind? Our target was to reach Australian waters, Ashmore Island. 3 captains guided the boat, but by late evening that same day, I noticed something suspicious. They were whispering nervously, and the radar showed we were heading back toward Makassar, Indonesia, the very city we had left early that morning. I quietly warned my friend. Word spread quickly. We acted calmly. 2 captains were tied down, while 1 remained at the wheel. They confessed. They didn't want to go to Australia. They feared being arrested or drowning. We begged them. We even offered $10,000. They refused, but we had no choice. We were in the middle of nowhere. We told them, it's too late to go back now. Then the storm court started. That second night, wild waves smashed against the boat. People were praying, calling their families, saying their final goodbyes. Some screamed, some sat in silence. The third night, it got worse. The boat engine failed. It took hours to fix and everyone lost hope. We ran out of food and water on the 5th day. We had been surviving on just 1 pack of noodles and a bottle of water a day. Some had life jackets, some had tire tubes. I had nothing. The engine failed over 20 times. Sometimes it overheated. My job was to carefully pour water onto the heat exchanger area to cool the engine down. I could barely keep my eyes open from exhaustion, and the salty water kept splashing into my eyes. No one else seemed to care much, but I remember the 86 people who appreciated my hard work, 2 mechanics and a few others. My friend told me so many times, come up, in case something happens you can't save yourself. How desperate the situation really was. Most people were crying, some calling their families with a special phone that worked from anywhere. For a few moments I felt completely hopeless and lost. All I could say was, oh well, if I die, I die. There's not much I can do. Maybe a little effort could help. At the very least, I thought, let's just keep the engine cool. I just hoped nothing would go wrong. I looked into my friend's eyes for a few seconds, then lowered my head and walked away. Most nights I was counting stars, dreaming to myself, wondering what kind of world this was, one that had brought me to this moment. The engine kept failing, but I didn't give up, and same as 2 generous mechanics. I thought, to my last breath, I will work. Maybe we will survive. Some just lay there and never helped me with my work. It was both shameful and disappointing. I saw dolphins swimming beside us a few times while I was resting randomly. It gave me a strange sense of hope. By the 6th night, the radar showed we were close to international waters, just an hour away. Then, out of nowhere, an Indonesian Navy boat appeared. It showed 2 officers on board, leaping and signaling us to stop. Panic spread. Some were terrified, saying we had to stop or they'd open fire. Slowly, a few began to agree. But I shouted, no way! We'd rather die here than let them arrest us. If they catch us, it's jail. We're close, almost in international waters. They can't touch us at this point. Just ignore them. We were just 30 minutes from freedom. They tried everything to stop us, right to the last breath. And with my last breath, I said, no, enough is enough. What would happen next? Did we make it to Australia, or were we arrested by the Navy? Watch the next part, please.